Good morning, sir. So today I'll be showing my project which I have done using the help of a Udemy course. And this project I have developed LLM application using Langchain. And Langchain is basically a new framework which has been developed by Harrison Chase, and it is basically used to make communication with chat gpt and other applications easier and make it easier for the user to access his personal data also using chat gpt or openai using api keys or any reference keys. So over here I'll jump right into the code right now, and over here as you can see this is a code of icebreaker.py. Now just taking a look at what the project will look like, I'll run this code. Yeah, so when I run this code we get this url where we get a enter name, and there's a button called do your magic. So here I'll enter a random name, and now I've entered Harrison Chase's name, and who is the co-founder of Langchain. So this will take a little while and give us the answer and give us four things which we can edit, as it is a prompt which we can send to chat gpt. So it will give us the username, the summary, user profile, and interesting facts and topics of interest along with some icebreakers. So here as we have got the user profile pic also, and this is Harrison Chase, and we can read that Harrison Chase is co-founder CEO of Langchain, and these are the interesting facts which we have got in bullet points. And over here we can see a topic of interest are emerging technologies, tactical modeling, sports analytics. Yeah, so over here also we can see in the code that this was the response from OpenAI, for which we are using our own personal API keys, which can be seen over here where we have implemented all the API keys. And it had first search for Harrison Chase LinkedIn, and this is how we have got the final answer. And now moving all the way back to the project, to the first part where we have only implemented the code for the summary of the project, I'll be moving back to that code. Yeah, so basically I have been writing the code for LinkedIn lookup agent. We have basically made a LinkedIn lookup agent which is using a LLM, large language model, to search for a LinkedIn user profile based on its name and some other keywords given by the user inside the code only. And here this is the code, and basically this is the main code of the project, which is icebreaker.py. So I have followed the steps by this creator on Udemy, which is Eden Marco, and he has guided the project in such a way that we have just written a code, and we have linked the Python file for LinkedIn lookup agent, which is basically a agent which we are using to look up for the username or any other keyword given by the any client or anyone who runs the code, any user who runs the code. And this is simple code, only 30 line code, and these are the tools which we have used. So basically whenever I run this code, it first says hello Langchain and entering the new executor chain, and I need to use a tool to crawl Google and find Shivang Sharma Velo's LinkedIn profile. So basically this is my LinkedIn profile username, credentials match this keyword. So I put in this keyword, and then it looked for my keyword and searched for this, and it got this link as a URL, and then it gave us the final answer, which when I click on this opens my LinkedIn profile page, which is this. So this is not the final answer, as it also, when it is finishing the chain, when the agent is finishing all its work, it also tells us that the bio of the person based on his or her profile, LinkedIn profile. So basically for me it is written Shivang Sharma Institute of Technology, pursuing BTech in computer science specialization in IoT, and this is all of my history, all of my data that I have been doing, and two interesting facts also they've told about me. Yeah, so this is it. Thank you. Now I've been working on making a twitter.py file which will be using the agent Tweety for making looking up for a user's profile on Twitter. And here, as I can show you, that we can not only my username, we can look up any username. For example, I will just look up my the creator of this course. I'll look up his name itself. Just one second.
Part of building up.
I'll look up his name only. So I've put in the inside of the name, I've put in the whatever username or whatever keywords I want the code to search, which is calling a LinkedIn profile URL. This code, which is present right here, and we have used import to import this file. Yeah, so moving on to the next part, which I'll be continuing just after showing how I have been running this code. So I've finally successfully run this code and found out whatever user URL along with the icebreaker. So the major name of our project tells us what this project's aim is, and we want to create an icebreaker using an LLM, that is Langchain. So I will just play around with the code a little bit, as I have put change the name to Eden Marco Udemy, who is basically one of our instructors of the course. And this will call the LinkedIn lookup agent, which we can find over here, as we have imported this code also. This is the function where it is creating an LLM, and it is integrated ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. And yeah, so when I run this code, it will show me what URL is there for this user profile on LinkedIn. So again, it is doing the same thing and calling Eden Marco Udemy LinkedIn, and it has found an observation and thought that it is the correct one. So we'll just check out once that if this is the correct URL by clicking on it. Yeah, so this is the correct URL, as he is the one of our faculties who's taught us this course. And when we come back, we also see that it has given us a introduction or a brief of their LinkedIn profile, which is that he's a customer engineer at Google based in Tel Aviv, and all of this, his rating and everything. So now we will be moving on to the second part of our video, that is Twitter scraping. Yeah, so just so giving an update on my project. In this project I have also written the code and compiled the code for LinkedIn lookup and Twitter lookup. So when we put a username, the AI will tell us what the appropriate LinkedIn profile is and what the Twitter profile is. And right now, as Twitter in India, Twitter API has been banned, and there are some issues with Twitter API. There is a forbidden 403 error usually coming, but sometimes it works. But here I'm also working on the rate limit error of GPT-3, since GPT-3 allows only 3 has a limit of 3 per minute, and GPT 3.5 has this limit, but GPT 4 is supposed to not have this limit. But I'm working on fixing this error also, and here I have written the code where we are taking the LinkedIn profile URL and using the LinkedIn lookup agent function, where we've given the input, and we're getting the LinkedIn data using this. Whereas for Twitter we are using these commands, and we have restricted it to 5 tweets. And here I put in a random name. It is not a random name, but it is I put in Harrison Chase, who is the inventor and founder of Langchain. And this it shows us that first it said hello Langchain, then it started working, then the program was running. It showed us the profile of Harrison Chase, who is the co-founder CEO at Langchain. And even the Twitter, when it came to Twitter, it was showing Harrison Chase's Twitter account. So I'll walk you through the code that I've written over here. So we have created, as you can see, we have made an extra file, that is app.py, where we have used Python language only, and we have mentioned it in the main directory. And over here we have written a basic code that we have to run the host. Now this will only run when we are in the configuration of the run server, which we have given a name, as I have made the configuration in such a way. And this is the run server, where the script path is app.py. As we can see, app.py file will run. And here also all the variables are given. Environment variables can be seen over here, which is open API key, proxy curl API key, so that we can refer all the data without any problem. And all the Twitter tokens can also be seen over here, along with the SERP API key. And as we know, SERP API, we are using SERP API in this project to extract the whatever Google file we have, whatever Google website we are on, any website we are on in Google, we can get the .json file of that exact web page, which will be absolutely correct, just by creating a account on SERP API website. And over here I have also created an environment with pipenv. And now if I change the environment configuration to icebreaker, then it will run the icebreaker.py file. And here it will run the icebreaker.py file, and it will not launch this website which we have created, and for which we have given the .html file over here, which is a basic syntax for where we have created different areas of the website using div, and we have given different headers, and we'll get the result over here. Now this is a basic style syntax, very basic one. And moving on to the moving on to this file, I have to make a few changes on this. Yeah, so over here we have given, so this is a summary, this is a basic prompt which we can edit according to our own needings. So if I don't want a short summary, I can write a 2-line summary, 2-sentence summary, where it will give us a 2-sentence summary, but we can edit it according to our own need. And it won't matter that much, as it is going to use GPT 3.5, and just to create whatever result we want. So over here, when we run this code, we go to run server, and when we click on run code, yeah, we have got this file. And for example, if I put my name, now there are many Shivang on LinkedIn, so I'll give a little specification which as value as my keyword, as that is my college. And now this will go and look for it. Now simultaneously, when I move back to PyCharm, I can see what is happening on the back end. And on the back end, we can see that it is telling us that it needs to crawl Google to find Shivang Sharma Velour's LinkedIn profile, and it is looking for the profile. And over here you can see it is stopped because we have got an error. Now the error that we have run into is 403 forbidden error, which is since Twitter has been banned API usage in India because of some monetary affairs, and because of that we cannot use Twitter API. So over here, till the LinkedIn part, we can see that we have got the correct ID. Over here, when I click on Shivang Sharma, yeah, this is my ID and this is the correct one. But as we can see, Twitter is not working because Twitter API has been banned in India and we cannot use this. I even contacted the creator of my course, Eden Marco, on Discord, and I emailed him, and he said that there is no current fix for this error and they are looking for this error to be resolved as quickly as possible. And I even wrote on the Discord server, as there is no particular solution for this error. But for now, we'll be moving on with LinkedIn only, and we will be extracting the summary and interesting topics and icebreakers using LinkedIn. So moving on, we will remove all the uh, Twitter Twitter function calls, which as you can see, Twitter lookup agent, which we have created. Now for we have I had restricted the number of tweets to 5, since there are many retweets, there are many tweets, replies, likes, and all that. So I had restricted it to number of tweets. Now here, as you can see, earlier when I was running the code, it was also able to tell the username of the LinkedIn of the Twitter profile, and which tells us how powerful Langchain actually is. That it was even able to remove the at the rate sign and all the URL from all the URL, just tell us the username of the Twitter profile of the person. Now I will just comment out all the Twitter calls, as we will not need them, and we can remove all this just so that we get a prompt answer and our site is working. And over here I'll remove Twitter tweets. Yeah, so in the input variable also we have given Twitter information, and for the template which will be running, you can see that the template is referring to the summary template, which is this, which we can edit on our own demand, on our own, however we want to edit it. And yeah, I think we are good to go. So now when we run the code, let's run the code again. And now that we run the code, and now that I enter my name, okay, so here also we have run into an error. अरे यार, ये क्या हो गया? I will just check my proxy call credits, as there are very restricted amount of credits that are being added in our proxy call website. And for your reference, proxy call is being used for as a LinkedIn API reference. And yeah, this is the problem which is because of which we are getting the error, and the credit balance is 0. So I'll have to log out and I'll log in with another email so that we can get extra credits. So I have made a new account on Proxical, and now the credit balance is renewed, and I have taken the API key from here and put the API key in the configuration and in the environment file. uh, as I can see, I have put in the new API key, and over here in the configurations also I have put the new API key over here where the Proxical API is, just so that we don't get any problems when we run the code. So moving forward, and when we run the code, now that we have removed all the calls, Twitter lookup agent calls, the code should be running fine. And right now we have to run via using run server, and when we run using the run server, okay, so debugger is active, debugger pane is given. So when we click on this, and for example if I put my name and I give a reference for a keyword, which makes it easier to find me on LinkedIn, and okay. So I can see over here the code has run into an error again, which I'll be fixing. Now it has got my ID, but there is some confusion as there are many IDs. So this is high school diploma from DBS Rohini. Now this is my ID only. Okay, so I'll go again and I'll try again. So if we rerun the code once again and we see, so one last try, I'll give it for my name, and otherwise we'll just put in a random name. Yeah. So finally, as you can see, this it has pulled my profile pic also, and it has got a summary that I am a well student at VIT Vellore, specialization in IoT and computer science, and it has got my interests also, and it has got some icebreakers. Yeah. So as here we can see that it has exited out of this code, and now we can put anything we want now that we are not using Twitter. So over here what we have done is we have created two directories. So the first one directory is intro to vector db, where we are talking about vector databases and how they work and how they function, and we will be going in depth into embeddings and how embeddings can be related to splitting data, huge sizes of data, into smaller sizes, which we call chunks. And over here I would like to show that inside of that we have created another medium blog directory, where we are making we have put a basic medium blog txt file, where we have taken a medium blog post which is telling us what is the meaning of vector and vector databases, and we have created this text file and copy pasted all of the data. Now this is a large size of data, and this is the magic of AI, which we will be able to see, and how it is.
Here's what I've found.
And how it will be compiling so much amount of data within seconds, and giving us just the core headlines and the core lines of this whole data. and this is approximately 5000 characters, and this is our main Python file. Yeah, so over here we have created a key, and we have written a basic code for vector store, and here we have put the location of the Medium blog post, which is over here. As you can see, this is the Medium blog text file, where all of the data of this Medium blog post, which is telling us how vectors work, is. And we also had to create an account on Pinecone and register ourselves and use the API, just so that we could use the free API. And when we are using Pinecone, as Pinecone is very popular and very productive when it comes to the topic of AI, that is why we have put our API key and environment also, which is this Asia Southeast GCP Pacific, and we are writing the code for the embeddings. And here, as you can see, we have also imported all the files that is for embedding and for splitting the text. And like over here, I run the code. When I run the code over here, as you can see, we are getting hello vector store, and it is for this we were printing the length of the texts, which came out to be 10. And this came out to be 10 because we chose the chunk size to be 1000, which we can choose anything to be 500 or anything like that. So finally, we have written the whole code for the main.py, where we are implementing one given article, which is a Medium blog post, which we have taken for example, and we have put the path for that over here, and we have given our API key for running the searches over here, and the environment also over here. Now this API key and environment belong to Pinecone, which we have taken from the website of pinecone.io. And over here we have also mentioned everything like the text splitter, chunk size, and we are printing the length of the text also before printing anything. And then we will be using the open API key. We will be referring to our own personal open API key, which we have set in the configurations over here. And we've just put a sample query, which is, what is the vector db, give me 15 words for a beginner. And we are getting the result over here. Now when I run this code, yeah, so it is showing us that the length is 8, and for the whole blog post over here, which we have converted in txt file, there are 8, the length of the text is 8, as it has splitted the text into 8 parts. And over here, as you can see, we are also getting a warning. Now this warning is as vector dbqa is deprecated, and vector dbqa is deprecated and replaced by retrieval qa, which is basically same, but does a certain amount of task even better. So this is just a warning, but here we get our answer, where our query was this: what is a vector db, give us 15 word answer. And here we get the answer. Vector db is a database that stores number of predetermined dimensions, source documents, and all and all and all the way till here. Was really sure. All I knew was I could say that. Now this is from the blog post. Yeah, so this is the result we are getting. And over here, even if we start to debug and want to evaluate our only this line, we can evaluate this expression, where we will find yeah, so here, as you can see, we are getting the result, and this is the query. Yeah, so these are the documents. These are all the same documents, but this is the query we have got. Yeah, so this is the whole query, where we have got all of the answers. and this again is the metadata, and all of this is our result. So moving on to the last part of our project, we will be looking as how AI is acting as a barrier and preventing us from going farther than our limitations, and executing AI in such a way that we can use the resources in a better way. So the most first answer that we get from anyone is that we are not able to execute personal data from chat gpt or using AI. So as when we use any chat gpt, here we can only enter our own data, and only a certain amount, certain prompt, where we can give a certain context, and using, even if we use any prompt engineering to the highest level, we are not able to input our own data in such a way that it interprets absolutely correctly. But we'll also see that sometimes when we use AI to and ask it the same question twice or thrice, it gives us different answers. So that is a problem which where it is not fixed on the data. Like for example, when I ask chat gpt 3.5 what is Langchain, so it doesn't know what is Langchain, because Langchain was created in recently, after 2022, and the chat gpt 3.5 is only trained till September 2021 and known to have been trained of above more than a billion words. And but moving on, chat gpt also has its own uh, applications where we can use them to create and write, without writing codes. We can use them to use our own pdfs or own data. For example, I show here pdf summary. Yep. Yeah, so it is basically upgraded in a plus, with the comes with a plus account, chat gpt plus account. But we'll be looking into a different code which we have created ourselves and solve this problem, as when by using vectors and our in-house memory to make it more efficient and write the code. So I have taken any PDF file. This is a basic PDF file and regarding React module. And so when I open this using VS Code, and so this is the small code that I have written, where in this I have mentioned the PDF path, and beforehand I have written the open API key, and alongside also imported the PyPDF loader, which through which we can upload our PDF onto the website. And now coming back to here, the also one of the problem that comes when people try to use such PDF online uploaders which are online, is that they might be uploaded to the cloud, which is not safe. So this is the best solution, where we are also splitting the document and making multiple chunks of the document, and then making a summary of the document by sending it to the large language model. So over here we have used the stuff method. There are three types of method: stuff, remodel, and listing. So over here we have used files which we have imported already. So this is our document. As you know, we cannot see it right now, it is not visible. Yeah, but as we go over here, we will run the Python file, and yeah, so yeah, it is telling us that hi, it has created a chunk size of 1038 and 22373, and it has given us the answer that React is a novel prompt based paradigm that synergies reasoning and acting in language models. And here, this is our question, this is our prompt, which we can change according to our own needs. So give me a gist of React in one paragraph. So if I don't want one paragraph and I only want two lines, So I can edit the code, and now when I go to run the Python file, let's see what the answer we get. This is our old answer. Okay, so now we have got the answer only in 2 lines, so we can create and edit now. And React is an approach to design decision making and reasoning that integrates a large language model, and this answer is only and only from the information and data that it is given, which is from the our own file PDF, which is accessed by the code. And meanwhile, I've also created a Langchain document where I'm showing that how I have implemented the whole project from starting to the ending, where we can see that the aim of Langchain is to integrate all of these softwares applications into one and send it to the LLM to be processed in such a way that we get our own personalized data without any security issues. So here I have written everything and how to install, and yeah. So this was our React document, which has shown that React is an all prompt based solving for all this, and whatever prompt we had given, we got the answer for this based on our personal document. Now this is some of the theory regarding React, which is written over here by me, and how a language model is implemented and how it is used in modern day-to-day lives around all of the AI hype that is going on. And so this is here I've written about zero shot programming, one shot programming, and few shot programming, which are different types of programming. Where zero shot, we do not give any context, we do not give any examples, whereas in few shot we give context as well as examples, so that the AI can answer our answer better, in a better way, and give us a more appropriate answer, along with chain of thought and how to create a good prompt, which is basically context along with clear non-ambiguous text, which is we do not have to get diverted from our topic and write only the things that we want. So this is my document, and this was the Python code which we have implemented using two of our versions, which is Visual Studio Code and also PyCharm. And over PyCharm we have implemented a full stack app, which tells us, which is it works as an icebreaker if you want to break the ice between us and cold approach someone else. And this was the project, and I have got a ton of learning from it, and I will be implementing all of this learning in the future. And meanwhile, I also found out a great implementation of our project, where one of these guys has built a PDF reader, and the same way we have done it, he has used that PDF reader to create an online investment banker, which can replace the job of an investment banker. And he has used the same code and used the website of Streamlit to make a front end website and implement the website. So this was my project, and I would like to thank Deepak sir for giving me the opportunity to learn, and thank you, sir.